You wish. I'm over here working.
I know. Can you believe I didn't say he was talking to a girl? Justin Evans he's 6th. Justin is 6th in points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know that this is the last 2 more races on that car, and
nope, that car is done.
For him.
I love that car.
Somebody else is getting that car.
I know, and I'm not even going to put that out there, but we do know some things going on in the background, and I know you guys do too, what's going on with that camp for next season.
Yeah.
And let's just say there's some change coming with the 99 car.
Yeah.
It will be it'll be interesting to see what they do with what they've got coming up because and old Al, he's a sly old gangster. He's a sly old gangster, and you got to watch him because he's got some things up his sleeve. And I can tell you, Justin actually stopped in Jetstream today. He was on his way to buy a sandwich at Big Town. He stopped in and chit-chatted, and he is he's
excited. Did you
excited.
buy a new pair of shorts?
I did. Remember that? I did. I actually had to buy Justin, and I didn't have to, but I did because I felt bad. But
this sounds like a story I'd like to hear.
It was actually really funny. Warren, what were we moving?
We were fixing one of the beds. We were working on that one bed.
We were working on a massage bed. That's right.
My back being like it was. You and Justin went to lift the top off and get it out of the way, and Justin's shorts were too tight, and he ripped out.
And when we say rip out, I mean it blew the bottom end out.
Complete blow up.
Yeah, yes. I mean he scattered parts all over.
Yeah.
It was. I'm telling you right now, it's a good thing he had underwear on.
And you're at a mall.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he just let's just say there was nothing left of these shorts, So I felt bad. He was helping me do something on massage bed, so I said, "Hey, here's my credit card." He goes. He looked at me. I said, "You can't wear those. You're at work." And I said, he's driving patients around, and I said, "Go get a pair of shorts." And he went to a store in the mall and picked up a pair. But it was actually pretty funny because the look on his face was like, I didn't know if his pants ripped out or if he pooped them. I mean,
it's one of those typical comical moments.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And if you know Justin's about as nutty as squirrel turds anyway. So I mean, it was funny. It really was. And Warren and I had a pretty good laugh. And he's always.
You realize how big Justin is, and now that you told that story,
you let Justin come. I'll tell you right now, that big fella ain't catching me.
I don't know. He's pretty fast in that Cougar.
No, he's not fast like this. Nope.
I bet he'd give you a run for your money.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Sounds like a challenge.
I'll foot race him
Justin,
anytime.
the challenge is on.
Let me know, big fella. Don't get me into something like this.
You did it.
You did it. We had nothing to do with it.
I'll race him. I'll show him.
You got to take one foot out before you put the other one in.
I'll show him what a 7-second 40-day yard dash looks like.
40-day yard?
Yeah, something like that. What's in my coffee?
You're cut off.
Oh man, no, but Justin is really, really excited about what's gonna happen with his team next year, and I think
I got to thank him and his wife for a ride home the other night.
It's not just medical transport.
Yeah. Let's get this guy off the highway before somebody runs over him.
or he runs in front of somebody. Yeah.
They actually turned around and come back and got me because they saw me walking down Airway.
Yeah.
That was way cool.
He's
prepared to walk all the way home.
That's quite a walk.
I got a ride out there because I knew I was going to drink.
Yeah.
And I don't drink very often.
Well, you don't.
But I had a few beers that night. And I wasn't sloshed or anything, but I
better safe than sorry.
Oh yeah, I was perfectly fine with walking.
How was Buzz?
He was okay. I don't know how he got home.
One word for you,
Pam.
Yeah.
That is something. Those guys, if they know someone's been drinking, they'll drive them.
Yeah.
They just, that's a good group. But
that's kind of like I did for Alan down there in Bakersfield.
Oh man, yeah, he's going this year. He actually,
good.
He's reserved. They've got their room reserved at the Holiday Inn in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
They're going to be there. They got they mentioned Moxie and got their 15% discount. So
yeah,
I'm getting scared.
You haven't seen anything till we get down to the Bud Nationals
or the drive down there.
Yeah.
Out of Fresno.
Are you driving again this year?
No, I'm drinking.
So we're going to reverse roles?
I got away with it last year. I'm not going to push it.
We literally passed a cop last year. We told a story on the show a couple weeks ago. I mean, unbelievable. We didn't get pulled over.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you what, it was actually it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was. We
Knock
laughed.
on wood.
We laughed so much last year. I mean, I actually came back with abs.
Nice.
They're gone now.
He was standing against the
Multiple
safety
abs
fence.
or one ab?
Multiple. I had a full-on six-pack, buddy.
He was like this
Wow.
on the safety fence.
I was.
you waffle belly.
So it looked good.
It got him married.
See, he knew how to work things.
Nice.
So, yeah, but the whole flight down was the whole experience at Bud National is always.
Yeah,
a good
I'm
time.
looking forward to this year. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it was. It's always a good time. So we're going to talk more about that coming up. But man, where are we? We're 7:21. We're not even close to break time yet. I'm trying to get out of it. Let's talk about. I know, and something I know you guys saw posted on Moxie because it absolutely went nuts. Was the Mike Duvall, dirt track legend Mike Duvall. I've been talking with his family the last couple of weeks, and he's been suffering from Alzheimer's and some other medical issues. Succumbed a couple nights ago, and at 3:16 in the morning, passed away. And Mike Duvall was the
John
creator.
3:16.
Yeah, it was his favorite verse.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that. It's not funny. It's ironic. I guess.
Yeah. His favorite verse was John 3:16, and he passed away at 3:16 in the morning, and actually had direct communication with his daughter.
Yeah,
we'd been talking over the last couple of months, talking about Mike and the situation there. But he was the creator of the Flintstone Flyer chassis, and we've seen a couple of those out here on the West Coast. I mean, Don Irely had one for a little while, and they were good race cars. Mike Duvall was the winner of the 1982 World 100 at Eldora.
Yeah,
always a fan favorite. Crowd favorite everywhere he unloaded. The Flintstone Flyer, when it comes to dirt late models with the F1 number, was just iconic.
Yeah,
it really was. Everywhere he went, he had a huge fan base, and to the Duvall family, his daughter Bonnie, we send our condolences, and we're sorry to hear that Mike has gone. I know Don Irely had a good friendship there with him, and when I was working with Don. He was actually spent some time on the phone with Mike when I was in the shop, and it seemed like Don did that a lot when I was working on the cars. He was on the phone, but it's a sad thing to lose the legends. These are the guys that have built this sport we love and that we work so hard.
Icons in the sport.
Truly
Yes.
was. And
Yes.
you look at Mike Duvall, and I posted some pictures on Moxie. He looks like he was from another era. He's got that old outlaw look. I mean, not one guy he looks like you want to mess with, but you talk with anybody that knows him, and just the nicest kindness.
Kind of that John Force look.
Right. Always looks like he's going to just tear into something.
Right.
Walk up and give you a hug.
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's funny because talking with the family, that's kind of how Mike was, looked at. Is like, he had that gruff look, that outlaw, big tough guy look, but the guy, they said he just had a
big old teddy bear.
Big old teddy bear, and just loved everybody and was there to help anybody and everybody in the racing world to make their program better, whether it was on their cars or as a driver. And we're at that point now where we're going to see guys like Freddie Smith and all these legends that made dirt late models what they are. Coming from asphalt chassis and Camaros to what we see today on the track. I mean, these are the guys that developed this sport and have given us so much through their knowledge. We're losing those guys, and it's a sad thing. And again, to the Duvall family, we send our best and our prayers and condolences. And
absolutely,
and I've told them if there's anything we can do, let us know. Because
again, yes,
it's going to be sad to not have the Flintstone Flyer around anymore. But unfortunately, that's the circle of life.
Circle of life. That sums it up right there.
It's. I know for me, it was. I remember being younger and learning of the passing of Don Wilson. Out here was legendary. And then you had Jay Bugby. And then Don Irely, who I know, the Cady brothers had a very tight relationship with the Irely family. So did I. I worked in the shop with Don. And that one, when I had to induct those guys into the Willamette Speedway Hall of Fame, was very, very personal, very hard to do. When you lose those guys that you look up to as a kid, your heroes. These are your heroes you're looking up to.
Yeah.
When they start going away, it's kind of like, man, it's kind of a reminder that, we all have a time and that's
circle of life.
It's real.
Well, that's why it's important to get all the young people involved so they can meet these people, still have them in their memories, and learn from them. Mm-hmm. And that's what's sad to see today. We don't have a lot of that. And that's why it's always encouraging to see younger people there trying to learn,
right.
trying to grasp this knowledge and just the love of the sport for people.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yep.
we've all had those guys. I know, Warren, when you were a kid at Willamette Speedway, looking up to drivers like George Waters.
I think my all-time favorite would have to be Jordan Epperson.
Jordan Epperson,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
He was,
He was a friend of the family, and
he was that guy.
He was that guy to
Yep.
me. And well, Granny Earp was right
Granny
there.
Earp, and,
Yeah.
Pappy Greenwood, and,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
all those old guys. And
Yeah.
I just know for me as a kid, my
Claire
first,
Arnold.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But as a kid, for me, my first hero in dirt track racing was Don Wilson.
Yeah, yeah.
And we know
Same
when he
era.
passed.
Yeah.
When he passed, it was like, man, that bothered me. As it bothers anybody who loses, the people they
A
look
hero.
up to. Yeah,
Yeah.
truly. And
Yeah.
Dom, did you ever have an early hero?
Well, I grew up in the Michigan area, in Detroit area. So we had a bunch of different. Joy Fair was one of the big. It was an asphalt track, so we had a bunch of heroes like that, in the local area. But here, I've only been here for a few years, so I'm just getting to know a lot of people and trying to establish, who's who and what's what and who are the pillars of the sport here. So for me, like I say, back home, sure, we had a bunch of them, but in relation to Oregon, no.
Right.
I'm still, like I say, learning the pillars of this community, figuring out who is the guy here.
Every region has their own.
Yeah,
sure.
And
So-
then it's a matter of perspective from then.
Right. Sure, you got those guys, and like you said, in your region, you have those
Yeah.
guys. There's guys in California that the young guys look up to. But
Oh, yeah.
So coming out of the Michigan area, was Randy Sweet one of the guys you looked up to? Or?
I remember hearing the name again. It was just a name, and I was fairly young.
Yeah.
I was probably 8-9 years old. They shut our track down in 1984.
Okay.
So it was a lot of my younger years. I don't recall a lot of those names.
Right.
And of course, I've been in so many different forms of racing. From BMX to drag racing to, dirt track to asphalt track. I've touched on everything.
Right.
So for me, I didn't focus on one sport. I was bouncing around between all of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good time. And knowing that we actually have listeners in Michigan, I'm sure that we can they can relate to what I'm saying. That everybody remembered Mount Clemens racetrack.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I show you guys the numbers every week and we talk about it. And when Dom saw in the top 10 listening cities in the last 7 days,
Yeah.
we've got this big following in the state of Michigan.
Troy, Michigan.
Troy, Michigan. It is just weird because they're always in our top 10 listening cities. And personally, I don't know anybody in Troy, Michigan.
I thought it was my family till I realized this was 6 months ago this started.
Do
So
you guys know anybody in Michigan?
I thought it was my mother.
Oofda.
Yeah. No. See, and that's what cracks me up because none of us really have a family. I mean, other than what you do. I mean, some
Yeah.
family ties, but none of us here really have a racing tie. I certainly don't. I know you guys don't in Michigan, but every single week Michigan turns in these huge numbers, and on our show, and
It bounces around.
Well, you got to think too. It's the Motor City.
It is. But
Right.
there's not that many racetracks there anymore.
Well,
you've
that's
got
why they're
MIS,
listening then.
Some minor tracks.
I mean, that's a long ways from the West Coast
Yeah.
to learn out what listen to learn on what's going on out here or what we're doing.
Certainly encourage it.
But we get Michigan and Washington, California, and we go to Ohio and Florida and Georgia. I mean, you guys have seen it. We get Canada, New Zealand, Australia.
Right.
It's just weird to watch those numbers come in. But Troy, Michigan, every week is right there.
Maybe we
get them in the chat line.
That's what I was just going to say.
We would love to hear from those guys on the chat line. Whoever is in
The Michigan,
yeah, we'd love to hear from somebody there because somebody is listening, and it's not one listener. There's this group. There's a big group of listeners in that area that is listening. And hey, hit us up on the Swears Trucking chat line. Give
Yeah,
us a
I'd
call.
love to talk to you. Just
I think
Yeah.
we should really encourage
About
people
anything.
to use the chat line.
Right,
Really
wait,
like to see some stuff coming through.
It started off hot tonight, and it just hit a wall. I mean, I don't know what's going on. If people fell
You
asleep.
know who we haven't heard from tonight? What I'm really kind of wondering what he's doing right
Chris
now.
Frisbee.
was
He's
gonna
working
say.
on a
Yeah,
race
Chris
car.
Frisbee.
Chris is
Yeah.
working on a race car. I'll guarantee that.
Well, there's another one too that we haven't heard from tonight either.
Well, we've got
I give up who?
Larry Baker.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's true. And we're in his home city. Baker, hey, you know what? We're in Corvallis. Come on down to AMCO.
What about Big Josh?
Josh Harris,
Josh
he's
Harris.
listening. He's listening.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be listening. And we know that Mike Swear will be tuning in
Swear,
tomorrow when he's
yeah.
in the big rig heading down the road. He listens on Thursdays. And Larry Baker and Chris Frisbee. I wonder if they're working on a car together. What's going on here, guys?
What are you not telling us?
Yeah, something's up.
Secrets.
So, man, are we at the 8 o'clock? We're only at 7:30. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
We have talked about so much tonight, and we still got